Years before lending his talents to the Beverly Hillbillies, film and TV actor Buddy Ebsen served his country in World War II. In addition, the actor had a long and storied career in the entertainment industry well before taking on the role of Jed Clampett, including modeling for Walt Disney and almost starring in The Wizard of Oz. Join FactsVerse as we explore the truth about Buddy Ebsen's military career. Buddy Ebsen's career in entertainment started in 1928. He and his sister had made a name for themselves as vaudeville performers and were brought to Hollywood by MGM Studios. The two made their debut in the 1935 feature Broadway Melody of 1936. Although his sister never made another film, the feature proved to be Buddy's start to a long and fruitful career. Following his debut, he appeared alongside Shirley Temple in 1936's Captain January. Then he appeared alongside Judy Garland in the Broadway Melody of 1938. He became known throughout Hollywood for his incredible dancing skills, leading to his hiring in the musical adaptation of The Wizard of Oz. When Buddy was cast in The Wizard of Oz, he was initially given the role of the Scarecrow. But the actor who had been cast as the Tin Man asked Buddy if they could trade places. Buddy viewed the Tin Man as a better role and agreed to the proposition. But things didn't turn out so well. Buddy had made it through the entirety of The Wizard of Oz's pre-production before becoming incredibly ill. He had already recorded all the Tin Man's vocal parts and was fully rehearsed and ready to film. But soon before filming began, the actor found himself experiencing disturbing symptoms. In addition to body cramps, he found himself routinely woken up with shortness of breath. Doctors determined Buddy had been poisoned by aluminum dust from the Tin Man makeup. MGM executives refused to believe the story and demanded Buddy show up for filming, but the doctor's intervention forced them to accept changes were in order. Another actor was brought on to play the part of Tin Man, and the makeup was changed to a type without the toxic aluminum dust. After recovering, Buddy became embroiled with MGM in a dispute over his contract, leaving him out of work for a short period of time. During this period, he took up the hobby of sailing to pass the time. He became proficient at it, and soon was such a good sailor he was teaching the art to prospective candidates for the U.S. Navy. Despite this, Buddy was routinely denied from serving in the Navy himself. World War II had reached U.S. soil by 1941, which made Buddy all the more anxious to serve his country. But the star was still being routinely denied entry into service in the Navy. After multiple rejections, he decided to apply for the Coast Guard instead. They accepted his application, and the actor was soon putting his skills as a sailor to work for his country. Upon being accepted into the Coast Guard, Buddy was given the rank of lieutenant and tasked with being the damage control officer on a ship known as the USS Pocatello. The ship was focused on monitoring the weather and operated off the shores of Seattle. Buddy was discharged from the Coast Guard in 1946, and then made a welcome return to the entertainment industry. He began appearing more and more on television, making notable guest appearances on shows like Maverick and Bonanza throughout the 50s. In 1962, he was cast as Jed Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies. The Beverly Hillbillies was a major success, and the character of Jed would go down in history as Buddy's most famous role. It ran for 9 seasons, staying on the air until 1971. Buddy was one of only 3 actors to have appeared in all 274 episodes of the program. Soon after the Beverly Hillbillies came to an end, he was cast in another hit series. He was given the titular role in the detective series Barnaby Jones, a series that lasted from 1973 to 1980. Many years later, Buddy would go on to cameo as the character of Barnaby Jones in the 1993 film adaptation of the Beverly Hillbillies. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to FactsVerse if you haven't already. Many people may not know Buddy Ebsen met his second wife while serving in the Coast Guard during World War II. He had already been married once previously to a woman named Ruth Cambridge. Buddy and Ruth had married in 1936. Despite having 2 daughters, they were divorced in 1942. While serving on the USS Pocatello, Buddy was introduced to a fellow lieutenant by the name of Nancy Walcott. They became romantically involved and were married in 1945. The two remained married for nearly 4 decades and had 4 children. One of their children is Kiki Ebsen, a notable keyboardist who's recorded with Boz Scaggs, Tracy Chapman, and Christopher Cross. After 39 years of marriage, Buddy and Nancy got divorced in 1985. The main reason the couple gave for the divorce was Buddy's increasingly Republican political views. After their divorce, Buddy remarried that same year to a much younger woman named Dorothy Knott. The two remained married until Buddy's death in 2003. In addition to his debacle behind the scenes of The Wizard of Oz, another interesting thing about his Hollywood career was that he did some behind-the-scenes work with Walt Disney. Walt hired Buddy to dance for the animators of various animated shorts, and even had Buddy dance for the engineers working on the animatronics for various theme park attractions, including Pirates of the Caribbean. Not all Buddy's work with Walt Disney was behind the scenes. He could be seen on screen in the 1954 Disney miniseries Davy Crockett. In fact, Buddy had been cast in the titular role before Walt Disney changed his mind and cast actor Fess Parker instead. Although Buddy had been dropped from the lead, he was still allowed the chance to play Davy's loyal friend and companion, George. While Buddy's accomplishments throughout his life were incredible and varied, he still remains best known for his work on the Beverly Hillbillies. The show was a major phenomenon at the time it aired, earning some of the highest ratings of any show during that period in history. At the height of the show's popularity, episodes could be expected to bring in around 60 million viewers. In 1965, while the Beverly Hillbillies was at the height of its popularity, Buddy tried to capitalize on the show's success by releasing a country album. It was titled Buddy Ebsen Says Howdy and became a modest success due to the popularity of Buddy's character on the Beverly Hillbillies. Given that he was an experienced vaudeville performer, he had no trouble delving into the world of recording artistry on the album, and his vocal performances surprised many fans who weren't familiar with his work from before the hit comedy show. Singing, dancing, and acting were far from his only talents. He was also a published author, as well as a practicing painter. In the year 2000, he published a debut novel called Kelly's Quest. While publishing this novel could be seen as enough of an accomplishment in its own right, it was made even more noteworthy due to the fact that he was 92 years old when it happened. The actor subsequently wrote a mystery novel featuring the character of Barnaby Jones titled Sizzling Cold Case. In addition to publishing various written works, Buddy also became a painter later in life. He loved painting landscapes and often made a habit of including Jed Clampett in the foreground. These pieces began catching the attention of the public as folk art, though Buddy never viewed his painting as much more than a hobby. In 1993, Buddy was given the Disney Legends Award for his many contributions to the company. During his last decade, he stayed relatively out of the spotlight. However, he did make an appearance on the animated series King of the Hill in 1999. The show was one of the more conservative-leaning programs of its time, and Buddy likely relished the opportunity to lend his Republican cred. Series creator Mike Judge had invited the beloved actor on, and the gig proved to be Buddy's last job. After a long and storied career, Buddy passed away in 2003. The cause of death was respiratory failure, and the actor was 95 years old. He was cremated in California and is survived by his 6 children. Now it's time to hear from you. Comment down below what your favorite Buddy Ebsen role was. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts First if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.